the last time I tried to make an amphibious vehicle, the tires had no impact whatsoever on the movement of the vehicle. I mean, sure, it would bob like this, but I couldn't actually move it forwards or steer really, which meant that I eventually had to use a J-tow rocket. Kinda like this. Tires aren't doing anything, just pure J-towness. But it turns out, not long after I made my video, they had started working towards making their own version of a Sherp, because the very next update they had the ability to do water driving. And look at that! It is so good! If only I had found this out a couple of days sooner, before potentially maybe I did that collab with No Name, when they couldn't move their vehicle in water. And it all comes down to one line of code. Hidden in the tires code, there's this line right here, skinDragCoef. Now, you might think for something like this, they would start putting out new documentation that would do this, but no. On their website, there's only one reference to this in only one page. It's not very helpful. It doesn't tell you how to use it or whatever. So to find out how to use it, you have to look at the code itself, and adding this onto your own tires is very easy, and we'll get into that in a little bit. I think instead I'm going to take on a different sort of vehicle. I am going to go ahead and do what the Top Gear guys couldn't do, which is make a van into an actual working sort of amphibious vehicle. If you remember, that turned out really poorly for them. And that's because I think they didn't go with a paddle wheel design. Much more stable technology. Doesn't really matter what sort of engine we go with, as long as it's fairly light and has a moderate amount of power, because it does need to be able to move a really big wheel. Stick a turbocharger on there? Maybe not such a gigantic one, because that's a bit silly. These numbers are looking okay. It's gonna be fairly fuel efficient. We're gonna go with 4x4 so we can lock the wheels if we need to. And to get like really chunky looking tires, I think we're gonna go with crossplay chunky off-roads. Then make our tires as big as possible. Well, okay, well, that sucks. We can make them bigger elsewhere. What the hell is that body morph? Okay. If you don't know how to do body morphs, by the way, there's this little bit of a thing down here which shall enable it. That is available on the wheels tab, on the trim tab, and on the paint tab, if you're wondering about that. It seems that a lot of people don't know how to do that. We would probably want to flow optimized. It does add more weight, but I mean, it makes sense. Probably go with hydraulic. Get some ABS on there, even though that's probably going to stuff us up in the water. I'm thinking like a race suspension, so then the suspension won't dip once it gets into the water. It seems that we got like a healthy amount of oversteer, which is interesting. I was not expecting that. I think our suspension is maybe a little bit low. We don't need it to be that low for this. Though we also don't want the vehicle to be very tall. It might be a little bit top heavy, so let's drop that top down. And now to make these wheels a lot bigger, we could just make more offset for the tires, but I think it'll be a little bit better if what we do is chassis track width. Make that wider. Oh, we might have to hide the chassis now. There we go. Then make the tires super big. Oh, that's what we want. This thing is probably going to do quite decent. So, this is a very heavy vehicle. Probably not going to be the greatest, if I'm honest. So I think we got to make it wider again. Wait, oh, okay, we're just making the tire wider, not the wheel. So let's undo tire width and instead do wheel width. There we go. Wheel width does a much better job, thank God. Okay, now just to let you know, this does not increase the traction of the tires at all. That is only done here. This is only visual upgrades. Now the tire does poke into the body a little bit. I could try and do something about cutting it out or making it wider, but I think I'm about as wide as I want to be, and the rest will probably just cover up with some wheel fenders and whatnot. The problem is this doesn't really have an angle like this to make it look as if it's meant to be a boat thing. So, like, causing a lot of drag is what I'm getting at. Wonder if I could use something like this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this could work. Then this on the front wheels, and maybe... Why can't I rotate? There we go. Maybe do something like that. But you know what? No. We want the wheels to actually work, because I was thinking we could cover the entire wheels like this. But no, we want this to actually have friction and catch. So I'm thinking that might do there. Yeah, that could work. It almost seems like a bad idea, but we're gonna run with it for now. Do I have anything that works as a bow on this? I don't think I do, if I'm gonna be really honest with myself, and I don't know why I'm even bothering to look. Hold the phone, hold on. I have bumper bits which I might be able to use. Could this work? I'd have to scale it way up. This could work potentially. You see where I'm going with this? Oh no, it doesn't come to a point in the front very well. Damn it. I was hoping to use this as like the front bow and hull sort of thing. Oh well. What about just something simple like this maybe? Will I ever find the bow of my dreams? I mean, oh, actually, that is getting pretty darn close. The real problem is that it comes out way too far. I could just cheese and use this. That could do the job. I think due to a lack of better options, this is the one I'm gonna go with. And of course, the very important windshield wipers, because you are going to need the hell out of these. It's really hard to understate just how important windshield wipers are on a vehicle like this, because you're just going to be constantly splish-splashing water around. We're also going to have to probably have steps on the back here, so then you can kind of, I don't know, you won't be able to use the door in the normal way anymore. Can we just easily cover this up with patchwork? Or will the door create a, yeah, the door causes a crease. So single axis? I think this will work. Then we're gonna make our own door seam. And I think we're gonna try to run along this body line. I think that works quite nicely. God, I really do spend way too much time on the details that don't really matter for the build. There, you now have a mini door to enter and exit out of. That won't go garbage at all. This is actually looking really cool in my opinion, but then again, that's really a bit conceited for me to say. And then we're going to do the same for these side doors because I don't want to get rid of them entirely. Now, do we have some sort of roof port? That sounds like too much effort. Let's just go ahead and instead attach our rear tail lights now. Where is the... Oh, there's actually no tail seam. Wait, no, hold on. I do see a tail seam. Oh, it's just really hard to see. Okay, I see it now. Usually the lights have to not be on the door. Do we just go a simple tail light because it is just for a industrial vehicle, basically? That seems to work. What is happening? Why is it not conforming to the body? Oh, is this body really high poly or something? This is struggling to put things down now. Anyway, let's go ahead and put on some truck wheels. Actually, do we go with these sort of truck wheels? Or these sort of truck wheels? I do like the idea of running that on a vehicle like this, then, yeah, it looks even more hardcore. But let's also paint them to be a very musty black. So you can't really distinguish them very much from the tires that they have on them. I don't know, it just looks more industrial that way. Oh, I've found a bit of an issue now. If we cut out here to put the wheel well back in so then the tires don't intrude on the body, we now have this bumper issue. So we're gonna have to make this much short. I don't know if this is gonna even work. You have to make this really short, then it just doesn't work anymore. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold the phone. Can we use this? I mean, it's not conventional, but I think it'll do. It's not giving us exact results, unfortunately. It was so close, though. Once the water gets up to this level, it's just gonna start going over the top and then dragging us back down. Oh, we were so close. Oh, interesting. Oh, actually, you know what? We might use one of the... Okay, yeah, alright, we were so close. And now we've got the right thing. Genius, I am. Absolute genius. All you gotta do is find the right part. It's not perfect, but it'll do. And then I think we'll just cut away pretty much all of the front area. Now, there's a little bit going in there, but I think that'll be fine. Now, I don't think that's gonna scrape. Let's drop ourselves down. Ah, perfect. And then for the rest of this, just don't look too closely. Or we just use a little bit of patchwork to clean it up at least a little bit. This has ended up being a much more complicated build than what I thought. Now we're going to turn it into a bit of a camper van on the inside. You know, because I didn't have too much going on. All we got to do is watch out for making this vehicle maybe a little too top heavy. And aside from that, I think we're good. So I'm going to run a seat on one side and a bench seat on the other. You know what? I've just realized I got this set up for American side driving, so let's switch that around. There we go. Now we're the correct side. For those of you that don't know, this is a very common setup for vans. So then the driver can have their own seating position. The other two, they'll just save money by making it into a single seat. Put in a rubberized floor, and we'll ignore this little bit, which is just a bit of a overhang or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's enough for an interior. You don't really need a whole lot for this. We're also going to call this the amphibious van. Stick on an exhaust way back here, because I don't know, I just wanted something silly, though I'm realizing that the exhaust likes to play silly. Maybe what we'll do is paint the exhaust invisible. Now that means that this is all going to go invisible, so we have to basically cover it up now. Use a vent, then stick an exhaust piece in here. Good, so when that exports, it'll all be lined up properly. We should probably chuck on something like this for grabbing air correctly too. That lines up pretty nicely. Paint it also plastic. Then put a vent hole in here so I can get through. Then we're going to want to have this join up to the engine. Cool. Let's cover up the engine and we'll be done in here. And gone. Perfectamundo. I think we've got ourselves a good enough van. Wait, one last thing. I remember I have a mod. There we go. It's called a ski box, but you can use it for a lot of different things. I believe even some of these are considered like a sleep pod sort of thing. Don't really know much about them, but you could sleep in something like this. I think that's what similar things do there. I think that'll do. And then we'll move it rearward to get the weight balance to be rear. Yeah, okay, good. I really thought that there was a better looking one, but I think that that's the only one I have. I think we're at the point now where we can call this done. Wait, you know what? I just realized paint job. Oh, I have made a sore mistake. Much better. I wonder if the size is a little bit off. Do we go smaller? Bigger? I think about there, yeah, fits pretty well. All right, now I'm happy. I wonder what we do around the automation test track. And remember that these tires are not the right tire size. 238, not the worst. I wonder if my gears have I don't think the gears have adapted for the size, so we're going to bring this down a bit. Hopefully this does all right. We can tune it anyway over in beamng. And we're not going to pack it straight off the bat. I don't want to pack it because I have the want to do that tire modification. My brain isn't working, and when that happens, English fails me. The color hasn't quite come out right, and it is shiny, as you can see that reflections. See, those reflections? Yeah, me do English. But let's go ahead, and I want to show you what it's like just by default before we go ahead and change anything. So it'll go into the water. Oh dear. Oh no! Our tires are not buoyant enough. Oh, frick. I wonder if changing pressure helps. Less pressure, does that help? I don't think it's had a lot of difference. Let's instead just try going a little bit slower. We might have to increase the wheelbase. This is not gone quite to plan. All right, so in slowly. It just drops so hard. But then the tires do actually float. Third time's a charm. That's what they say, right? All right, I'm not going to take the ramp because I think the ramp drops off a little too suddenly. So here we go. In nice and slowly. Oh, please. Oh, please. There we go. There we go. Oh, these tires need to be bigger, but flooring it up. Oh, the engine hydro locked. Well, that's easily fixed. In our unpacked mod, we're gonna go in and find the engine stuff. Wait, no, it's not gonna be here, is it? Sorry, under the hash code, we're gonna find engine structure. Then go intake. There we go. So this is what we would want to change. Instead, we're gonna grab maybe, say, for instance, this note here, which is A84. Get rid of this by hitting Control X. Basically, we're gonna copy and paste it somewhere else. And we'll get rid of this one in a second. I just wanna keep track of what it looks like. In the main J-beam, here's A84. I just realized we're gonna need to grab a little bit more. Instead, we're gonna grab this whole thing, curly bracket to curly bracket here, and then paste that in there. We don't need engine block or this, and I think that is enough. Control S. Now we can get rid of this here because we don't need that no more. Save it and refresh. Hopefully now it'll pull air only from the top part and not from the lower nodes, though we have to watch out that it doesn't dunk. Good, and our engine is no longer flooding, but as you can see, remember how I was saying that the nodes don't move anything? We're flooring it, you can see the tires moving and everything, but nothing is happening. That's where modifying the tires come in. Now, personally, if you have front drive, I would just do the front tires, but we're going to do both. We're going to scroll down, and the place I like to put this line of code is right after Strieback Vel Molt, which is to do with the ability of a tire to maintain its grip whilst drifting. Then we'll do the same on the rear, right after Strieback. You'll paste that in, and this will be in the description, so you'll be able to find it. Save that, and Control R. And here is the proof that it works. We were flooring it before, absolutely nothing was happening, but we now wade in nice and slowly. Look at this. So we're floating and floor it. We're kind of moving, we're turning, and we could drive around. The fact that we're moving all together is just signs that it works. We're not moving very fast though. I'm going to turn all the locks on. Does that change anything? Oh, there we go. For a second there I thought we were going a little bit faster. Let's change these gears manually and go up to full highest. Oh, okay. The friction on the tires is really hurting our ability to move. Oh, you know what it is? Our tires are dunking under the waterline, which means that they're also moving us backwards and not just forwards. Frick. I think I want to re-export this. Maybe try to fix this paint color issue. So we have light green and then a dark green swoosh. That has not exported at all. Oh, okay. I don't get it. I don't understand. And I think we're just gonna make things a little bit darker. Hopefully this will now go over to beamng and be a little bit of a nicer color. As for the tires, they do need to be quite a bit thicker, I think. So I could make them bigger, but that's gonna mess with our body design we've done. So just wheel width. Let's go up to something like 101, that looks good. And 101 for you too, good. We also weren't rolling over side to side, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So we're gonna bring the chassis track width in instead of messing with these other bits and bobs. I could have also probably just added a little bit of buoyancy to the body itself, but this'll do for now. Now let's re-export, redo our engine intake stuff, and do our tire stuff. Relaunch the game, and with our fingers crossed, hopefully we're a little bit more buoyant, won't roll over, and tires seem to be working. Do they? Hold on. Are we moving? Yeah, no, we are moving. Good. It'd just be great if we were a little bit more floaty. Now, theoretically, adding in pressure stuff will allow us to float more. Whoops. That was meant to be Control C. If you want to do this, hopefully it'll work. We're going to go into the main J-beam and down at the triangle section, which is here somewhere. Oh god, there's a lot here. Okay, there. Go here. Put that there, then grab this slot here, and at the end of triangles, we'll put that in as well. Save this, refresh here, and let's hope to God that we now float a little bit higher. So I'm judging up my wheel depth in the water. We seem a lot bouncier. Whoa, a lot bouncier. Just even out, buddy. You can do it. Yes, you can. Well, whatever. All right. Let's try driving. And we're still really slow. Okay, our tires have now leveled out and they're still well underwater. Frick. Let's try messing with pressures. At -10, how do we do? Get into the water and I think it's changed nothing. Let's try changing this instead to 1. Save. And in the water, it doesn't seem to have changed anything. That used to be how you would make a vehicle float. but it doesn't seem to be working anymore. Let's go ahead and just make sure that there's no holes in our collision mesh. There's a bit of an overlap, but I don't think that would do it. I think this should all be watertight. I don't know why it wouldn't change the floating nature of the vehicle. Let's move these ones forwards. What was it? 31 and 28. Move this to about 2.5 and you to about 2.5. Save that, come back, and they are no longer overlapping, so that's good. Going back into the water, and immediately, lots of bouncing. Refresh that quickly. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Oh please no. But it still hasn't changed our height in the water. Change you over, and refreshed over here doesn't seem to have changed anything. Frick. Oh, okay. Well, this is a bit of code that I found previously didn't work, but drag and buoyancy now works. Now, I don't know why body drag and buoyancy do the same thing, but we can now just give ourselves whatever buoyancy we want. So hopefully we'll now go a little bit faster. So let's get our tires a little bit more than half out of the water. That's close enough. And why are we rotating? That's weird. Let's go full speed ahead. And you know what? We're not actually any faster. That sucks. And it just keeps wanting to rotate us. Why do we want to rotate? That's weird. We shouldn't. Should be fine. Second gear is working well. Third gear is not strong enough. So we'd need a lot of power to make that work. If we just come to a stop now, come to a complete stop. Yep, we're rotating. Why are we rotating? It has to do with the buoyancy, I swear. Well, anyway, since we know that that's not actually having the effect that we want in giving us better top speed, we could just go turn that off anyway now. So hopefully this doesn't spin anymore. Down in the water, and would you look at that? No spin. And we can drive around if we want. Perfect. I know just who to show. But before we do that, let's go ahead and fix their vehicle. So, what do you think of my vehicle?
It looks a lot more aquatic than mine. I thought about adding sort of a boat shape on the bottom.
Yeah, Top Gear kind of style.
But I decided I really didn't want to figure out how to get it to fit, so I didn't.
Yeah, this took me a lot more effort than what I was expecting. And when I said that you needed bigger tires for a amphibious vehicle floating purely just on tires alone, this is the size ratio I was talking about. This is barely enough to make my vehicle float.
Yeah, funny enough, the tires on the Amphitruck were initially even smaller than they are now.
Oh, yeah.
But with the help of Sets, who is my...
you cut out.
I would say he's, like, helpfully harsh. He does not... if he thinks what you're doing is dumb, he will tell you that you are dumb. But he is always correct, so... he is the reason the tires are even this big.
Yeah, they really did need to be a whole lot bigger, but I've made them invisibly bigger, so it will actually float now. Your air intake on this version of the vehicle is where the airbox is as well, so it won't flood quite so much. And,
yeah, I saw that in the J-beam, but I decided not to fix it because I think the video had been in progress for like a month by then.
Well, the airbox is up there, and now it will drive on water. So if you bring it down, maybe don't take the boat ramp, because that drops off really suddenly, and then it'll unsettle the vehicle, and you might end up tipping over.
Say, do you know how to get it to actually start up without slow motion?
For me, I can just drive.
I
cannot.
You
took the boat ramp? Oh, that was gutsy of you.
Yeah, I figured I might as well.
So, yeah, because your pivot point, like center of mass, is so far forward, you kind of have to drift every corner, so you turn the opposite direction to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, the physics is so
like
jack on that one. I mean, at least it works. Yeah, when I first was doing it, I was like, why is it turning the wrong way? Then I realized you've got, like, the center of mass is so goddamn far forward on your vehicle that it just has a complete breakdown of expectations.
Yeah, so I assume it can reverse, unlike if you'd used JADOs.
Yes, it can. And you can drive,
great,
you can turn.
Again.
Oh dear. How do you stall that thing? I was driving it a lot yesterday, tuning it and getting it to work. It never stalled on me.
Huh. For Sets also has the previous file of it, and it's stalled out for him every time as well.
Weird. Wait, are you using keyboard and mouse or controller?
I'm using controller.
Yeah, it doesn't stall out for me. That's so strange.
Although, to be fair, I use the controller in a very keyboard-like way. I'm basically always full throttle, full steering lock, unless I'm playing a sim.
I must say that your vehicle does not look like it should float with the size of your tires.
I wonder if this is faster with locked diffs.
Not really, no. Yeah, you're gonna find that your vehicle is not going to be the most fast on water, which is too understandable. They're basically paddle wheels. But
yeah,
even then,
much.
not very effective paddle wheels, since you're relying just on tread, not the... You know the 4x4 one that you can drive on water?
Yeah, I had it in my beam update video.
Yeah.
It's still really slow, but it's not this bad.
Yeah, it's only a little bit faster, if I'm going to be honest. They're just very different sorts of vehicles, so it seems like it's a lot faster. It is actually quite slow.
Yeah. I would say that this is probably still faster than the 8x8 version of the Hydra. The 8x8 is legitimately so slow that I didn't think it was moving at first.
I haven't
I had this whole gag of how boring the 4x4 version is to drive on water in that video.
Oh wait, you don't like the 4x4?
It's not the most boring I could have been.
Yeah. Let me, so stay in the water. I'll bring it out. So I think yours versus my vehicle, they're very, very similar. But let's compare these two when we get on the water.
Let's see if I can get out of the way.
Notice it's not like super fast. Like it is faster, but it's still...
This is really weird. I think I turned the correct direction when I'm reversing.
Alright, you ready for a float race?
Let's see if I can stop. There we are. Alright, just count down.
Okay. 3, 2, 1... Go. I'll give you a bit of a head start because I'm floating forwards.
Oh, great. I stalled.
How do you stall in water? What the hell? I think something's wrong with your guys' games.
And it has to stay in first gear. Otherwise, it just runs out of power.
That's so weird. All right. And you floated away from me really, really far. Oh, did you just reset?
Yeah. It's fine.
But yeah, as you can see, it is a little bit faster, but not like blistering. I'm not going to be like saying, see ya, and then eat my dust sort of thing. That would be more like eat my spray. Can I literally drive circles around you? Hold on. So you go.
I would guess so. I'm going to steer towards that more open bit, just to make things easier for us.
You happen to be
or
driving.
Steer away from it, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, alright. I can drive circles around you, except it's really slow in the same direction.
Yeah.
And you'll also note that the RPM isn't great as well if you start going up in gears and whatnot.
Yeah, that's why I'm sticking to first and making this really horrible noise.
I think I want to do a little bit of exploring. Now that we've got these aquatic vehicles, there's somewhere else I wanted to try out, which I just happened to spot as I opened up the server. I saw this water area when I spawned in earlier, and I was going to go over to where the vehicles were just a moment ago. But I saw this and I was like, you know what? I've never explored here before, so I wanted to give it a proper try. So we're going to drive all the way down. I'm going to go into the water, and I want to go over to these little, like, boathouse sort of things over here, and then pull up at our new resort destination, as it were. So we're basically role-playing. Sound fun?
Okay. Also, I'm going to be trying low... Okay, so it works at low range. That's nice.
I think I take the high road, because that one will take us directly down. I wanted to take the more scenic route. Oh dear. I don't know if your truck is going to do very well on this road. Oh god, I don't know if my vehicle's going to do very well on this road. Oh no. Oh god. Good luck.
Can I even? Oh, I absolutely cannot make this.
Oh, he punched me! Oh no, okay, well, we're going down. I'm yelling timber.
I'm
you know what? I'm gonna start from the beginning again. How's that sound? You want to come
That's
up and join
probably
me?
a good idea.
Alright, we'll take the first one, which is going to give us a very steep rundown. Damn, I was hoping to take like a lovely little scenic route, but it turns out that it's like death-defying.
Oh, did I kill you again?
Not on my screen.
Ah, you went flying for a moment there.
Oh, it's tricky. I'm stuck on a tree. Hold on.
I can't brake.
Oh, you're going to hit those trees and not going to be able to do anything about it. Alright, there we go, there we go. Oh, braking is ineffective.
Yeah, the wheels just lock up.
Yeah. Oh, no. I had to let go of the brakes
One of
because
my
I was
wheels has fallen off already. The axles on this are so weak.
Alright, maybe just bring yourself down, then spawn again. Oh, okay, I see you.
Yes, I was very much in control there.
Oh, God.
I think it's going to fall over if I don't get out of the water.
Oh, dear.
No, I'm wedged.
Yeah, you've got yourself really stuck in there.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to do that. It's fine.
Just reset? That sounds like a good plan.
Yep.
I just want to explore this water.
Still stuck.
Still stuck? Oh, dear.
There we go.
There you are. And just remember, you have to counter steer. So when going between land and water a lot, you're going to get really confused with how to steer.
Yep, stalled again. Even in low range, it sometimes
on my screen,
stalls.
our wheel just popped off. And then when I'm on the water, basically, it's just rev up to max revs and just let it go. What the hell am I looking at?
I don't see any steam coming from your wheels. Is that not an issue for you?
That'd be brake stuff. On my screen, next to you is your tire floating as fast as you are, basically.
Let's see, does this fix it?
Yes, it is fixed now.
Yeah.
I don't know why your brakes were steaming. I happen to see that as well. I don't have that quite so much on mine.
Yeah, for the thumbnail for that video, I actually had to remove the brakes. So
really?
They wouldn't do that.
Ah.
Yeah, I took a bunch of photos with it. I've got, I think it's still not approved, but I've put this up on as a mod on Beam. There's a photo of it on land where the brakes are still gone, so I had to pause it at the right moment.
It's very, very lovely in this valley, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, that's basically all I had to do in this valley, so let's go over to the boathouse, and I think we'll call it there. How do you like my little snorkel as well?
Oh, great, my engine turned off again.
How do you keep
it looks
doing
good.
that?
Yeah, I don't know. The intake on this was initially supposed to get replaced with something that's like above the roof. Like, do you play SnowRunner?
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, but not in a while.
There's this intake on the Tatra Phoenix that I wanted to try and replicate, but I pretty quickly figured out that I had no idea how to do that, and I also thought that this looked pretty good, so I just kept it.
Fair enough.
I raised the rest of the intake and air filter stuff, but I didn't even raise the intake.
I'm more of a spin tires and mud runner fan than snow runner. I don't know why. It's just I found them a little bit more playable.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Everything being locked behind a game progression system. I didn't like that. I just like to be able to jump into a game with my friends. Whoa!
Yeah. I've gotten really... the, like, 2 people who watch those videos will know that I don't really make them anymore. I got really burnt out on SnowRunner because at some point I had a similar realization to Car Mechanic Simulator, which is that no matter what you're doing, it's effectively the same thing over and over again.
Yep. I know those feels.
And once you realize that, it's kind of hard to have fun with the game anymore.
Even though I have like really hardcore off-road tires, it's apparently not enough to get me up here. Oh wait, no, here we go.
I'm struggling a lot too.
There we go. Woo! Okay, all I had to do was switch to manual and manually control my gears. There we go. It was just trying to change gears and then I'd lose all momentum.
For me, it's just wheel spin. This is about as light as I can be on the throttle and I'm still going down. So maybe I just need to get a really big run up. I'm sure that wasn't what I meant.
You've got all your diff locks on and in low range?
Yep.
Ah.
And this is full 6x6 as well.
I do have properly wider tires than you.
Oh, there goes the wheels.
Oh,
I don't know if you
dear.
would have seen that.
Yep,
I
yeah,
didn't hit
did.
a bump or anything. I was perfectly stationary, but they were, I guess, spinning so much that they just flew off of the axle.
There's an F1 video that I'm thinking of where the tires popped off under braking, and that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah. I think... Are you at the top already?
I mean, I was waiting for you, so yeah.
I'm just gonna, like...
You gonna F7 up here? Alright, well, that's basically all I wanted to show you anyway. Some lovely scenery, this cool vehicle, and showed the fact that I fixed your... I mean, I had fixed it and you've broken it, but I got it working now on water for you. Sorry that this, like, update came literally 2 days or 3 days or whatever too late for you.
Yeah, that was a fun message to get.
Oh my god. So, I had a look at how the new 4x4 was working, and I was looking at other things, and then I happened to notice one line of code that I'd never seen before, and it was the tyre code for adding friction and water. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my mind is, I have to tell No Name. I have to.
Well, at least it means that once my mod is finally approved, I can, you know, submit a new version that needs to get approved again.
Yeah, you have to go through the approval process again. All right, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it resets every whatever queue they have or not.
Yeah, it has to go back to square one with getting approved again.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I'm glad that you got to enjoy your vehicle. And what do you give my Aqua Van, out of 10?
I stalled again, really? I'd say about a 9. It's a lot more aquatic looking than this thing, although I did at least get a nice marine paint job for it. My only real complaint is that you didn't go full masochism and do the extra axle like I did. Granted, you basically made my extra axle work, so...
Yeah, be thankful that I was even willing to do that amount of it. So I asked you to do a collab, and then you're like, cool, I want to do this really complicated thing. I was like, please don't. And you were like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Like, oh god, no. And you just like, cool, so I'm doing it now. I'm like, fuck!
It could have been worse. I think I gave you like 3 ideas to begin with, and 2 of them were just like impossible.
I think I even shot down this idea. But yeah. Do you know what is also really awesome?
Oh?
My channel members. And that specifically includes DeHellerman. Thank you very much for being a top tier channel member, and to all my other channel members. For everybody else, thank you very much for being here. I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.